Good morning and welcome to my channel. I made a video yesterday about my two ferns, one new one, Pelea rotundifolia, and one that I had for a long time, Nephrolepis exaltata, but I forgot I had another fern, Platycerium bifurcatum. This is it. This is a fern, although it looks very different than the other ones. Just because it has a different growth, the way of growing. It's an epiphytic fern, which means it's a fern that grows on trees, not in the soil, not in the ground. And this is how it grows. It has two types of leaves. This leaf here, and there is another one like that on the other side. When they are new, when they are young, they are green. However, they are very spongy, and they are the ones that grow close to the bark, close to the tree when they are on a tree, because epiphytic means that they grow on something, on trees. And this is a leaf that is supposed to collect the water. So underneath this leaf there is something like a little container, little dish, and also it prevents the water from evaporating from underneath that leaf. So this leaf is making sure that there is some moisture, that there is some water available for the plant. Okay, and underneath also there are structures that are root-like. They are not proper roots, just like in flowering plants, but they are structures that are taking a role of roots. And we can call them roots, but they are anatomically, they are not roots. And there are other leaves. There are those long leaves that are photosynthesizing leaves that are green. This plant is called a staghorn, because these long leaves, when they are old, just like here a little bit, they split into two. When the plant is older, the leaves branch like a fork at the tip, bifurcatum, which means a fork with two ends, with two teeth. Okay, so that's how it is called. This plant somehow doesn't split, maybe because it is young still. That's one of the reasons, but also depending on the variety, they branch more or less, and I think this one is the one that branches less, unfortunately. It grows nicely for me, but I have to confess that I killed quite a lot of staghorns before this one finally decided that it wants to cooperate with me. I keep it moist but not wet. I keep it in a container. Okay, so this is the pot in which I bought it, and there is a container, and in the bottom of the container there is sometimes a little bit of water, and you can see the roots sticking out of the pot, and there will be more eventually, I'm sure of it. And sometimes there is water, but usually there is just moisture that is collected there, that is trapped there. I don't let it completely dry. However, I don't let the water sit at the bottom of the container, and that's what the plant likes. I water it from the top so that the soil the substrate in which the plant is sitting is moist, but I don't let it to be completely wet, and somehow it works for me, because before, what I was doing, I was always making sure that there is water in this container, and that was too much for the plant. This plant, as I said, is epiphytic. It grows in rainforests, on barks of trees, or where the branches are growing out of the tree, on this little shelf created by a branch. And they don't sit in water. Okay, the air is very, very moist there. There is rain falling, rainforest, there is rain falling every day. But at the same time, the plant is not sitting in the water. And somehow, when I provide it with these kinds of conditions, it works. The other thing is that if you buy this particular plant, all plants are have the same problem, but this particular, I think, from my experience, more than other plants, it's covered with scales. When you buy it from a nursery store, it is covered with scales, which are bumps at the bottom of the leaves. You can mistake them sometimes with spores, and that might prevent you from taking action to remove them. So the plant has to be quarantined before being introduced to your collection, and you have to make sure that you remove all the scales and that you repeat the process over and over and over again, because when you remove scales, even if you wash the plant with soap, or even if you spray it with alcohol, with rubbing alcohol, there will be eggs still that will develop into scales, into mature insects, because underneath that bump, that scale, there is an insect. Okay, so you have to be very careful with that. And then once it's all done, once the plant is ready to be introduced to your collection and put somewhere where it looks nice, you can enjoy it. It's really nice. I really like it. I think it's a beautiful plant. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching my video. Have an amazing rest of the day.